Either party on that matter present?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. And I see that Mr. Laser is also present. Mr. or friend of the court, what is the status of this matter?
The defendant has a support obligation of $386 and an account balance of $22,879.02. The last payment was received in November of 2023 in the amount of $50 and a payment of $118.43 in September of 2023 and $104.97 in August of 2023. The defendant was in contact with the friend of the court in February of this year with information about a job interview, but has had no contact since. The friend of the court seeks guidance from the court on how to proceed today.
Thank you. Mr. Butz, what would you like to say regarding this matter?
I had a job application or interview for Menards in February. Because of my background, I did not get that. I have another interview on Friday at 10 a.m. with Jay at A&L Iron, hopefully to get my job back. I was in the process of moving from Roscommon down here. The last job I did have, I was making as payments as I could. I've been working for cash down in Houghton Lake, Roscommon area. I just moved back up to here. When I have a job, I don't have a problem paying. It's trying to find the job, sir. I go to Michigan Works. I got the Indeed program on my phone for, you know, the internet thing. I do all that. I'm just hoping that I get my job back at A&L Friday. I'm hoping to start Monday.
All right. So you said you moved from Roscommon to Gaylord. Is that correct?
I'm in the process. Yes, sir.
All right. So are you in Roscommon or are you in Gaylord?
I'm in Gaylord right now.
All right. And you said you were doing some work for cash in Roscommon. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. I was like cutting firewood for the gentleman I was staying with and whatever I could do. And then I would make whatever I could make. I know I haven't made a payment in a few months. I do apologize for that.
When were you doing those jobs for cash?
What's that, sir?
When were you doing those jobs for cash?
I want to say November 14th or whatever the day is before deer season, is when I moved down there and started working for him. And then things didn't work out, so I moved back up to Gaylord.
All right. Did you do any work for cash in December and January and February?
No, sir. I have no work.
Do you rent, own, or live with somebody?
I live with my girlfriend currently, now back up here.
Okay. Does she rent or own, or what's the situation with the residence?
She rents, sir.
She's paying the rent?
Yes, sir.
She paying the utilities?
She's paying everything, unfortunately.
You have not contributed financially to that residence at all?
I have not since before November, since I moved away.
Do you have any physical disabilities that prevent you from working?
No, sir. Just my background, and I'm out there every day.
All right. Anything else you'd like to say?
No, sir.
All right. Ms. Laser, is there anything that you would like to say? All right. You're muted, but I think you said no. So.
I'm sorry. No, sir.
All right. All right. Well, I'm going to recommend that we adjourn this matter and set it before Judge Mertz for a contempt hearing. It's been several months since there's been any payment. I am satisfied that Mr. Butz has the ability to make some type of payment and the ability to earn some type of income. He's not made a good faith effort to pay. So we'll set the matter before Judge Mertz. Or do you think the April 1st date is too quick?
Yes.
Okay, so we'll set it for the May 6th date at 9 a.m.
You said May 8th?
6th. I'm sorry.
6th. Sorry
May
about
6th,
that.
at 9 a.m. If you do make a payment of $1,600 prior to that date, then that date would be canceled.
Yes, sir.
Your Honor, is that going to be by Zoom or in court?
That is by Zoom.
Okay.
Your Honor.
Yes.
He did indicate that he's now residing here. An address we have for him is in Roscommon. Could he update that so notice could get sent?
Yes, sir. What is your updated address?
My updated address?
Mr. Butz, you have a second case, correct?
Yes, sir.
Am I free to go then?
You are.
All right, thank you.
Summer Dolphinspec versus William Butz. We do have Mr. Butz present. Is Miss Dolphinspec present? It's not clear that she is present. In front of the court, what is the status of this matter?
The defendant has a support obligation of $395 and an account balance of $6,820.96. The last payment was received in September of 2023 in the amount of $18.88 and a payment of $107.39 in August and $262.13 in July.
Thank you. Mr. Butz, anything you want to say differently regarding this file?
No, it is the same thing. I lost my job and it's the same thing.
It was $395 a month.
Correct.
Okay. All right, so I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna recommend a finding of contempt and set the matter before Judge Mertz on May 6th at 9 a.m. I will set it up a similar purge payment. If you pay $1,600 prior to that hearing on this matter, you do not have to appear.
Yes, sir.
I am clearly there's arrears in this matter. I'm satisfied that you have capacity to pay some portion due, exercise of diligence. You have the capacity to pay some portion that is due. That you've not made a good faith effort to do so in the last several months. All right, sir, any questions?
No, sir.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
You're all set. Thank you. Do we have Mr. Drop TV present? Does not appear that he is present. In front of the court, what is the status of this matter?
This hearing was adjourned from February 14th to allow parties time to file appropriate motion and to address support and opt out. The plaintiff contacted the friend of the court on March 14th and was given a hearing date of April 24th for an opt-out motion. The plaintiff has a support obligation of $291 and an account balance of $1,852. The friend of the court has received notice that that motion was filed with the clerk yesterday. And she did stop in and make a specific payment of $42 because she indicated the defendant plans to waive their arrears owed to him.
All right. Ms. Kennedy, anything that you would like to say?
No, sir.
So it does look like you have a court date on April 24th regarding the opt-out. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right. Do you expect the other party to show up that date?
Yes.
All right. Obviously, if there's going to be any forgiving of any back due or any other issues, you would need to be there that day. So what I'm going to do is just adjourn this matter. We'll readdress it on that same date. So at April 24th at 10:30. Any questions, ma'am?
No, thank you.
All right. Thank you. 029 DC. Do we have either party on that matter?
Yep.
We have Mr. Dougal present. In front of the court, what is the status of this matter?
The defendant signed a stipulated order to recall a bench warrant on June 23rd, 2023. The defendant was to make monthly payments of $250. This included his obligation of $168 and an ordered on arrears amount of $82 or appear at the first available date. The defendant has account balance of $4,982.58. A payment was received this month for $250, and the defendant has been in contact with a friend of the court indicating he would be making an additional payment of $250 on March 22nd and promised to meet April's obligation as well. Prior to the March payment, the last payment that was received was in November of 2023 in the amount of $250. The friend of the court would request to adjourn to May 22nd in front of your honor and can remove if May payment is received before the hearing date.
Thank you. Mr. Dougal, anything that you'd like to say, sir?
No, I'm willing to keep going forth with the $250, and I don't see us going to court after this ever again.
All right. Well, sounds like you missed a few months, but you're gonna be on track of it here, sir.
Yes, I am.
All right, so we're going to adjourn to May 22nd. If prior to that court date, you have made your March, April, and May payments, then we will remove that hearing date. Any questions, sir?
No, sir.
Okay, thank you. You're all set.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Either party on that matter, questions?
No, I'm here.
I'm here too,
All
Your
right, so
Honor.
that's Mr. Lefebvre present, then, ma'am, you are Miss Nagel?
What?
You're Gloria Nagel?
Yes, I am.
All right, thank you. All right, man, this is your motion, your objection to a child support recommendation, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, what is your objection, ma'am?
Okay, Kevin has had visitation rights with Abigail. He has chose not to visit with her. I don't know, what my objection is that I kind of need help with her. She's a special needs child a little bit. She goes to Irisa. She cannot talk. She's in a 1st and 2nd grade level in her mind. I just need a little bit more help with her with the money situation. I can't do it all on my own. And they only required him to pay $4, and that's not enough to even help her with anything.
All right, thank you. Friend of the court asked to the calculation on this matter. Anything that you'd like to say?
The defendant is on SSI only. He is not able to make any outside income from that.
All right, and that was verified that he's receiving SSI?
Yes, received a letter from Social Security.
Thank you. Mr. Lefebvre, is that correct that you are receiving SSI benefits?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you performing any work at all at this time?
No, sir.
Does the child receive any money based on your SSI or not?
To my knowledge, no. That one I'm not 100% sure on though.
All right. Ms. Nagel, do you know if there's any money that the child receives?
She was receiving money at $73 in Indiana when we were down there. But when I moved up here, it all changed. So I don't know where they took it out from, but yeah, he was paying child support. He was doing good.
All right. Well, I think the party should look at to see whether or not there's any benefits that could go to the child based on dad receiving benefits. The child support manual indicates that SSI is not treated as income. So that's why the support was set the way it was. Based on the arguments, I don't believe there's any errors in the calculation. So I am going to deny the objection to the child support recommendation.
Okay.
Ma'am, you do have 21 days to object to my decision. That information will be provided in the paperwork that is sent to you.
All righty. Thank you.
both.
Good morning, Your Honor. Elliot Bector on behalf of Mr. Kaharick, who was appearing via Zoom from my office. I did speak with Mr. Dundon on the phone. He was on his way to his office. He's apparently not there yet.
No, I'm here. Sorry. I'm here. I wasn't able to. Sorry, Your Honor. My daughter was sick, but I'm doing this from my house, so I apologize. Yeah, thanks, Elliot. I'm indeed here.
Good to see you.
Right.
And this is Mr. Blumberg, your client's objection, is that correct?
Yes, Judge, it is. And it's based on a couple of different issues as I see it. One of which is that we believe that the dependent mother does have a third job income that she's not reporting. Secondly, during the week that she has the minor children, and the schedule is a week on, week off, that she intentionally doesn't work during the weeks or reduces her work during that week that she has the kids. And finally, the third issue, I don't mean to get too far ahead of myself. We believe that there is a joint obligation to pay tuition at St. Mary's. That takes a significant amount of money out of my client's disposable income. And currently, Mrs. Kaharick is not contributing at all towards that. I don't believe that was factored in at all in the front of the court investigation and recommendation. So those are the three issues that we believe might impact on the ultimate support obligation.
Your Honor, we filed a response, and I believe the only allegations were that she was underreporting tips, which we replied to. It's not true. She can She did report the small amount of, it's all in our reply, Your Honor. She responds, she did report the small amount of cash tips she gets from the Iron Pig to a friend of the court, but the bulk of them are credit card and pooled, so she can't underreport them. And then paragraph 5, we, correctly stated she's not turning down work. She's working as often as she can as a legal assistant from 9 to 2:30, and then as a waitress as often as possible. She told the employer she's available every other week when she does not have her kids. And so she is getting every shift she can. We could bring the Iron Pig people in to testify that there are not shifts she's turning down. As far as the St. Mary's obligation, I don't believe there is any legal obligation for her to pay for Catholic school. But again, that, unless I'm misreading, I didn't think that was in the objection, Your Honor. We responded to what we had, which the court should have in front of it.
Judge, I guess in response to that, and it's not clear to me, that issue, is that one that comes before you, or does that go right to the judge?
Well, is it a term of the judgment that's not being followed?
Judgment has not yet been entered yet because
Okay.
there are a couple of other property related issues that need to be resolved. But, again, she has agreed to the enrollment of these kids at St. Mary's. And again, my client, at the end of the month, because she will not pay her share, is left with basically $0 or very few dollars. So I guess my question is, does that come before you, or do we go right to the judge on it?
I think that tuition issue would go to the judge. Because
Okay.
that part of the child support.
Does the court?
What I'm going to do is, what I think we need to do is set this matter for an evidentiary hearing, because we are going to need testimony. And it's already 9:30. I've got 9 cases at 9:15 that still need to be called. So there's no way we can take the testimony right now.
Yes, sir.
So council, May 29th at 11 is when I next have an open hour. We probably won't need a full hour, but we might. We shouldn't certainly need more than that to address the child support.
Yeah,
Are you guys available?
Sorry, Judge, you said May 29th, sir?
Yes.
What time? I apologize.
11?
Yes, sir, I'll be there.
I'm available as well.
All right, so we'll set the evidentiary hearing on the objection. What is the status of this matter?
Your Honor, the defendant, Ms. Lowry, has a support obligation of $158 plus $50 ordered on arrears. Account balance is $10,977.47. Her last payment was in March of 2024 in the amount of $150. We have been communicating, and she had sent in documentation stating that she is not able to work. She also submitted a physician's form 226 that stated she can work with restrictions, being limited lifting, bending, and twisting. We are just seeking guidance from the court if this is something that we should start a new child support review on, or if we should seek abatement.
All right, Ms. Lowry, if you could unmute, and anything that you would like to add, ma'am. All right, you are muted still.
Sorry, I'm here.
Okay. What would you like to add?
I'm currently doing physical therapy. I've been speaking with them, and on if I'm going to be able to work, and I would like to work. I'm still going over that with them. My mother has been taking me to my appointments. I do not have a license. I don't have a car, but we had gotten into a car accident on March 4th, and I was on my way back from physical therapy. So this has further caused more pain. At the time, that's all that I wanted to add to that.
All right, so at this time you're not working at all, is that correct?
Correct.
Do you have any idea when you plan to return to work?
I have not worked in several years. Right now I'm currently saving up money to try to get my permit started again.
My understanding was the doctor said that you can work, but with limited restrictions. Is that correct?
That is correct. That's what they said.
Do you plan to seek work?
Yes, if I can. I don't have a vehicle currently. or a license, but I'm trying to work on that.
All right, I will adjourn your case to May 22nd to see where we're at. If you get any new updates regarding your health status, please make sure you provide that to the friend of the court. All right, thank you. You're all set. Either party
Thank
on
you.
that matter, Russ.
Yes, sir, I'm right here.
Thank you. We do have Mr. Molsky present. Front of the court, what is the status of this matter?
Your Honor, the defendant has a monthly obligation of $28. Current balance on the account is $747.31. Last payment received was in November of 2023 in the amount of $109.40. The defendant did have some misunderstanding of the income withholding, but that has since been straightened out. I would like to adjourn the matter to May 22nd to monitor the income withholding.
Thank you. Mr. Molsky, what would you like to say?
I just want to say that I'm gonna keep paying it. I didn't know that they weren't pulling it out of my check because there was money being pulled out of my check. I thought it was for child support, and it wasn't. It was actually for a car I used to have. It was just a big mistake, and I'm just I'm working. I work at GFL, so it's gonna get paid.
All right. Given that you are working and the income withholding order is starting to receive payments, I will adjourn this matter to May 22nd to continue the monitoring. You're all set, sir.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Thank you.
Party on that matter, present.
Here, Your Honor.
All right. We do have Mr. Spreman present. Front of the court, what is the status of this matter?
Your Honor, the defendant had a hearing on January 10th, 2024 that was adjourned to today. He was ordered to do full payments for January and February, as well as start addressing arrears. We've received one payment since then in January 2024 in the amount of $70.25. His support obligation is $407 a month, and the current balance on the account is $11,209.19. We do see that there's an income withholding that is potentially starting with Straight Sides Construction. We would like to confirm that that is in fact where he is working.
Thank you. Mr. Spreman, what would you like to say regarding this matter?
Well, I've been working here, and I'm pretty sure they've been taken out of my checks because I haven't got a full paycheck since it started. I also just had a little while ago and am paying. I'm paying all utilities and rent, and for another adult and two other kids, as well as three other support obligations right now. I don't know why it's not coming out of my checks. I don't know why. I'm pretty sure it is because I only got $200 today yesterday on my check when I worked a full week. Why? They've been supposed to be taken out for a couple months now.
Were you working there in January?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Do you think money was coming out in January or not?
I really do. Whenever they filed for that is when I noticed it. A couple weeks after they filed, I noticed my income was, my checks were shorter. I never asked questions. I just assumed that's what was happening.
Do you receive a pay stub that shows what's taken out and what you got paid?
I do not receive a pay stub. I haven't gotten my login information for any of that or set up an account, and I guess I have to look in, but I'm not sure.
Is that information available to you?
It is. I just have to go to the owner of the company's house and sit down at his computer, I believe.
Front of the court, this $70 payment in January, was that an income withholding or was that a direct pay?
It was a direct pay.
Nothing has come in?
Sir.
All right. Well, Mr. Spreman, you indicate that money was taken out, you believe. Front of the court is indicating it has not been. I'm going to adjourn your case. I'm going to give you a chance to bring in or to produce any pay stubs that show that. And if it wasn't coming out during that time frame, then you're going to need to make sure you can pay that money to get yourself current. I'm going to adjourn you. You shouldn't need much time to get your hands on that documentation. So let's set you out for, I'll set you for April 17th. So, sir, you can get your hands on those pay stubs and provide those to front of the court. I think you should provide those whether or not it shows money was out. If it wasn't coming out, we need to know that too. And if it wasn't coming out, you should find a way to make sure you're getting the money that should have been coming out paid into the front of the court when we come back here on April 17th. Any questions, sir?
No.
All right. I think you have a second case.
Yes.
Your
That
Honor,
one also.
this is Danielle
Yes.
Woodard and I am present. And if I could please have a moment to speak, I would greatly appreciate it.
Absolutely. I didn't hear you, so I'm sorry, ma'am.
I'm
Any
sorry, I
questions or
couldn't
comments
unmute earlier. Yes, I just, with all due respect, Your Honor, this is almost 11 years of the same old song and dance. And I just, every time it's adjourned for this reason or that reason, and it's a new excuse or a new issue. Meanwhile, I'm carrying on my life, raising 2 children on my own for 11 years now. And I'm just wondering if we're ever going to reach some kind of responsibility that Mr. Spreman actually has to take on.
All right, well, I am requiring him to produce those pay stubs. Sometimes there are glitches in the system as far as whether money's out and where it's headed off to. So when we come back here on April 17th, he's got to prove that that money was taken out for this purpose. And if it wasn't, he needs to pay that money. And if he doesn't, then he would face any potential contempt of court for that.
Okay. I do hope so.
The court will call the other matter, which is Farina Edwards versus Nicholas Edwards present. In front of the court, what is the status of this matter?
Your Honor, the defendant has a monthly support obligation of $404. Current balance on the account is $2,336.75. We received one payment in January in the amount of $69.75.
Is there income withholding in this case?
Yes, but nothing's coming through that.
All right. All right. Miss Edwards, anything that you would like to say or any questions that you have?
I'm just wanting to take accountability, that's all, and I'm the only one raising our son, and I just want the best for Braxton, and I hope he gets it taken care of.
Okay. Mr. Spreman, anything you want to say on this matter or same stuff, same things that you said last time?
It's got to be the same issue. I mean, it really has to be some sort of glitch in the system. I don't know how to explain it. Yeah, it does some sort of glitch in the system. I don't know how to explain it. Yeah, it does take two to raise a kid. That's for sure.
We will adjourn this matter to that same date, April 17th. Again, though, Mr. Spreman, you need to produce. We will adjourn this matter to that same date, April 17th. Again, though, Mr. Spreman, you need to produce your pay stubs so that we can figure out if money was taken out or not taken out. And again, if it was not taken out, you need to make sure you make those payments that were missed. So we'll be back here on April 17th, 50 DS. We have either party on that matter present.
Good morning, Your Honor.
I'm here, Your Honor.
Thank you. We do have both parties present. In front of the court, what is the status of this file?
Your Honor, the defendant had court on March 20th, then it was adjourned to today to allow him time to provide pay stubs or make payments. His monthly support obligation is $407. Current balance on the account is $11,616.19. We did receive income withholding money in this month, actually on Monday, the first one came through in the amount of $86.60. Mr. Spreman also provided pay stubs dated from January 29th to March 25th with the total amount of $1,637.87 withheld for the income withholding.
That money was then received and credited, or?
It has not been credited yet. The only money, as of yesterday when I checked, was the $86.60 that was credited to this specific docket.
Does Mr. Spreman have other cases that perhaps that money went somewhere else?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. I think you gave it to me, but I might have missed it. Is monthly obligation 407?
Yeah, $407.
Is that addressing the arrears at all or not?
No.
Mr. Spreman, anything that you'd like to say, sir?
I'm trying my best with 4 obligations right now, and I don't really have a bring home check anymore. So I'm doing my best. I'm going to keep paying. That's all I want to say. That's all I want to say. I'm going to keep paying.
All right. Well, you got to make sure you're paying on the right accounts and make sure that's all squared away, because it sounds like some of it might have got diverted elsewhere, unfortunately.
Probably better places. I don't know what, I don't control that.
Sure. Are you still, so you're still working full time, sir?
Yes, sir. When weather permits, it's outside work. It's been rainy here and there, and that's why a lot of those pay stubs are a little shorter than the rest and snow and whatnot. But looks like we got good weather ahead, so full hours, full paychecks.
All right, Ms. Woodard, any questions that you have, anything that you would like to say?
With all due respect, I would like to say I'm a mother of 4 now. I am a student taking 4 college classes. I am in an internship. I am a substitute teacher, and I'm a soccer coach. I don't have much mercy for Mr. Spreman. I don't understand why he can't get himself together to make more of an effort. It's almost $12,000 behind, and I see him smile and look smug when he gets on here, and there's nothing to smile about or be smug about.
Everybody. All right. So, Mr. Spreman, you're going to give her a chance to speak, okay, and not interrupt.
Yes,
Your Honor. Two of you are going to speak. 2 of you are going to speak to me, not to each other, okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Woodard, you can continue.
As I was trying to say, there's nothing to smile or look smug about. I'd like to take care of this issue. I don't want to keep going back to court. I'm late for work right now. I have a very heavy workload because I want to provide a good life for our children that we have. And I feel like Mr. Spreman doesn't take it very seriously, and I wish he would.
Thank you, ma'am. All right, Mr. Spreman, anything else that you would like to say?
No, Your Honor.
So far, the court records show that he did have withholding coming out. It just got directed to a different case. Is that correct?
The income withholding, I'm not sure if the amount that hit the accounts, yes, on Monday is part of that $1,637. It does not add up to $1,637, so I'm not sure what's going on with the disbursement unit and those funds.
Okay.
Potentially more could be coming out.
His monthly, we do have a pretty large balance. Any thoughts on an increase to address some of that balance in this case?
I think that would be fair.
Any suggested amount or thoughts on so he's at 407, he owes 11.6. All right, I am going to recommend that we increase the monthly payment to start addressing some of that balance to a total payment of $450. We're going to adjourn this matter to monitor to make sure we got everything squared away with the income withholding to June 12th. Is June 12th still an okay date?
Yes.
Okay. To June 12th. All right, so we're going to come back on June 12th, make sure that income withholding is still operating, and hopefully it is completely corrected. As well as then there should be some additional payments going towards this matter on a monthly basis. Mr. Spreman, do you have any questions?
No, Your Honor.
Ms. Woodard, do you have any questions?
No, Your Honor.
All right, thank you both for appearing. It does conclude the matter.
Welcome.
Of Farina Edwards versus Nicholas Spreman. Thank you. In front of the court, what is the status of this matter?
The defendant had court on March 20th, and the matter was adjourned to today's date to allow him time to produce pay stubs or make payments. The support obligation is $404 a month. Current balance on the account is $2,740.75. We did receive money from the income withholding as discussed on Monday, and the amount of $85.94. Prior to that, the last payment was in January in the amount of $69.75.
Thank you. Mr. Spreman, anything else you want to say regarding this matter, or just use your testimony from the last time?
Your Honor, it's really the same situation.
I understand. All right, so now that we are receiving money on the income withholding order, I think there's good cause to adjourn. We'll adjourn this matter to June 12th.
Thank you. I am, Your Honor.
Mr. Spreman present. In front of the court, what is the status of this matter?
The matter was adjourned from April 17th, where he was ordered beginning May 17th to pay $450, which was comprised of $407 for the monthly obligation and $43 towards arrears. And then we're going to adjourn to monitor the income withholding. That income withholding has been active. Again, he does have the $407 monthly obligation, and the current balance on his account is $11,650.83. As of today, June, we have received $173.19. In May, we received $346.39. And in April, we received $259.78.
Mr. Spreman, what would you like to say regarding this matter?
Oh man, Your Honor. I lost that job for the income withholdings. I mean, when I have my checks, I have four cases taken out of them, and I was sometimes not even making $100 to bring home every week. And I end up not being able to pay my insurance. I'm very, very close to being out of my rent and not being able to have a place to live. I did just get paid today for last week's work. I got $500. I can come in today and make a payment. I'm just overwhelmed. Miss Woodard did just offer me to sign off all of my past due arrearages, if only to let her husband adopt the kids. And I can't do that. I can't do that. I want to see my boys. I want them in my life. As they live so far away now, I don't know. I'm trying my best. I've been working for cash, mowing lawns. Able to do that locally, luckily. I'm sorry. I'm trying my best here. I've got too much going on and not enough work to keep it going. I'm in a hole. Right. I'm digging a hole.
Mr. Spreman, you obviously created your obligation, so you've got, these children to support.
Yep, which is why I'm also getting help with filing for change of support orders and all this. I'm trying to get it balanced. I've got 4 files I had to fill out, and my attorney's gonna hopefully help me out if I can come up with a retainer. I don't know yet. I'm waiting for his call tomorrow.
Well, if you got money to pay retainers, you've got money to pay your monthly.
I don't have money to pay retainers. That's the thing. I'm waiting for his call to see what he's gonna even charge, and maybe I'll be able to borrow some money, but I don't know yet.
All right, I'm gonna call your other matter too, so I can get the background on that before I make decisions on both of these. So I would also call the matter of Miranda Edwards versus Nicholas Spreman file. I know we have Miss Edwards present. Friend of course, the status of this file.
This was also adjourned from April 17th to monitor the income withholding. Support obligation on this case is $404, and current balance is $2,775.19. As of today for June, we have received $171.90. May was $343.81. And in April, we received $257.85.
Okay. Ms. Edwards, any questions or comments that you would like to make?
I have nothing.
All right, Mr. Spreman, anything additional you want to say?
Yes, though the income withholding is probably going to stop soon. My manual payments are going to start. I'm staying busy. It's not. I'm not making enough to cover everything, but I'm going to keep trying. Keep going.
So you said you lost the job with the income withholding order, correct?
Yes.
All right, but you have another paycheck coming potentially?
No, it's just cash. Yes, yep. I've got a few accounts I picked up, and I'm able to have an income.
All right. So it looks like on both of these, obviously you're short so far for June, but you indicated you have some money to make a payment this month. Is that correct?
Yes. Oh, yes. Yes. I'm not going to stop making payments again. Jeez.
All right. So what I'm going to do is adjourn your case out to August 14th to make sure that you're true to your word that you're going to make those payments now that you don't have the income withholding order. You said you have some money available now to make a payment. So certainly it's going to be the court's expectation that you meet these 2 obligations.
Of course.
And we'll see you back on August 14th.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you both for appearing. That does conclude the matters.
Christina's present.
Thank you. Do we have Mr. Limburger present? Okay, friend of the court, what is the status of this matter?
Your Honor, the defendant has a support obligation of $422 a month. Current balance on the account is $5,547.35. We have received money this month from income withholding in the amount of $241.15. We would like to adjourn the matter to May 22nd to continue to monitor the income withholding.
Ms. LaCrosse, any questions or comments you'd like to make?
I think monitoring him is a good start.
All right, thank you. Well, given that information that there is an income withholding order that is new and collecting, I do believe there's good cause to adjourn. We'll adjourn to May 22nd to continue to monitor that income withholding order. All right, thank you, Ms. LaCrosse. You're all set.
Thanks. Have a good day.
Someone's present, and I do see Mr. Owens listed. Mr. Owens, can you hear me okay?
I can hear you.
What is the status of this?
Your Honor, the defendant has a monthly support obligation of $216. Current balance on the account is $11,790.94. The last payment received was in January of 2024 in the amount of $200. There seems to be a history where we do a show cause and the defendant pays and then she stops paying. Looking for guidance from you, sir.
So no payment in February or?
No, sir.
Yes, so. All right, Ms. Owens, anything that you would like to say?
I don't work. I'm living on disability duty, sir.
All right, Ms. Owens, I cannot hear you, so I don't know if you need to be closer to your microphone or what's going on, but let's start over. What would you like to say?
Can you hear me?
Sort of.
I got my vocal cords are damaged, so it's hard for me to talk.
All right. What would you like to say about your payments in this matter?
I'm doing the best I can. Whenever I have money, I spend it. I have no extra money left. I went through all my extra money I had last year due to my surgery. I'm working to get back into work. I've been trying to do real estate, which is taking a tank right now. I haven't sold a house in 6 months. My VA disability is what I'm trying to do right now, and I'm able to make an effect.
Got going on, but it's incredibly hard to hear you. There's lots of background noise when you talk. So, is there a reason there's so much noise around you?
I'm sitting in my bedroom up against the wall, so I don't know where the background noise is coming from.
All right, well, there's just a little bit of echo in here. Just hard to understand. That last statement was a bit better. All right, so you're not working right now? Is that what you're saying?
No, sir.
All right. What are your plans regarding work?
I am working. I actually have been trying to sell. I'm a real estate agent, but I haven't sold a house in 6 months. With the economy and the new law that's coming down.
Second, ma'am. Hold on, ma'am. Everyone else in the courtroom, are you able to clearly hear? Okay. No. All right.
Do you want me to
I'm going to adjourn your matter. I'm going to ask that perhaps next time you call in.
Okay, I can do that.
Instead. I'll give you a chance here, sir. What would you like to say, Mr. Owen?
Currently, she's, I don't know why, she's listed as Martha Pierce under all her real estate, and I'm not understanding the obligation part because she's listed as the top agent in Zillow, and she's selling a $900,000 home right now. So I'm not getting this whole, I don't have money, and I'm not getting it. Every time she has these issues, she comes up with, had toe surgery, I've had throat surgery, we continue to get these issues every single time.
All right, I understand your concerns, sir. I'm going to adjourn this case to April 10th. Pretty short turnaround. Ms. Owens, next time that you appear, you need to either try calling in by the phone waived access or be at a different location for your Zoom because we are not able to clearly hear you. If we have this issue again next time, then you will be required to appear in person. All right, I'm sorry about the audio issues, Mr. Owens, but I need to be able to clearly hear her before I make any decisions, so I will adjourn this matter to April 10th. Mr. Bector is present?
Yes, I am, Your Honor.
All right. You think we need the adjournment in front of the court?
I do, Your Honor. I just don't know the status of the account.
All right. So, Mr. Bector, we're going to adjourn your matter to April 17th.
Okay.
Are you making your payments, sir?
I am unable to work right now. I'm actually going against my doctor's wills, and I actually signed an application, and I'm supposed to be starting at Domino's. Like I said, I'm not even supposed to work because I've had 2 back surgeries, and I have to have a 3rd back surgery and the next surgery. But I can't live. I'm not working. So, and I've been denied for disability 3 times. So I went out and got a driving job to see if I'm actually able to do it. I don't even know if I'm going to be able to do it because, like I said, I'm not even supposed to work, and I have a hard time sitting for so long at a time. I can't stand for so long at a time. So I don't even know if I'm going to be able to do this, but I needed to try to do something.
All right. Certainly, if you are working, make sure you let the front of the court know. We'll be back here April 17th to figure out the status. Okay. 163.
Okay.
All right,
thank you.
Yes. We have either party on that matter present. All right. I saw one person's mouth move, but I didn't hear anything. So if anyone's present, please unmute.
Sorry. Yes.
All right. So we have Miss Elias present. Thought that Mr. Elder is present. All right, and if Mr. LeSueur can hear me, I'm putting you back in the waiting room, sir. Give you a chance to put a shirt on before you appear in the court's Zoom here. Thank you. All right, Miss Elias, this is your objection, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
All right, can you please state the basis of your objection?
We haven't been receiving child support regularly for some time, pretty much the entire time. And as a single mom, it's really hard to take care of 2 kids on my own. And I really need the child support. I really need it. And I don't understand how we keep not getting it.
All right, front of the court, what is the status of this matter?
The defendant has submitted positions forms in September and January that are marked unable to work at any capacity at this time, and it indicates that he has referrals to see other doctors for status.
Okay. Ms. Elias, are you aware of his physical status at this time?
I am not, but he's been telling me since I left that he won't pay child support. So I don't really feel sympathetic to anything. I feel like it's just another way that he's trying to get out of it. I'm sorry, but it's been a really long time that he hasn't been helping, and our daughter is 10, and it's been really hard this entire time. And I'm so sorry, but I just feel like if I didn't try to get things back on track today, then I don't have the opportunity, and I can't. That's really scary. Sorry.
Okay. No problem. So, front of the court, you've received notices from him or notices from the doctors?
From the physician,
all right.
September and January.
Is there any indication as to when he might be able to return to work?
No, just mark that he has no capacity to work at this time, at least since September, based on the documents that he did submit.
You said there was a January note?
Yes.
Also indicating that continues?
Correct.
All right, well, given that information, he would meet the definition of a incapacitated parent at this time. So I would deny the objection, but I would indicate we should set this matter for a status hearing here shortly so he can provide updated medical information, and he needs to appear. I will set this matter for May 1st. We'll see where he's at with that physical issue. Have him provide any updated status to indicate whether he can go back to work or not, and readdress the matter on May 1st. Any questions, Ms. Elias?
I don't think so.
All right, thank you. That does conclude your matter.
I'm here, sir.
Okay, we have Miss Markham present. I hear that Miss Markham is present. So this is your motion, is that correct?
Yes.
And what are you seeking to change?
Well, I'm hoping for custody. Desiree and her boyfriend have not been allowing me any kind of like contact with my son, Emmett, and this has been going on for days. Pay child support. And so I put some here and there, but they still refuse to let me even see or speak to him.
When was the last time you spoke to Miss Markham?
It's been, I think maybe 3 years now. She's got me blocked on social media, the phone, everything.
Do you have a good address?
I'm sorry, go ahead.
You have an address for her?
No, I don't. The only thing I know is that she's out in California. I've tried to ask her mother for a mailing address, and she refuses to give out anything. Last I spoke to her boyfriend lastly, and he was the one who said that I would have to go through him in order to speak to Emmett, and I haven't spoke to him in maybe like 2 years now.
How did
Like
you
I said, they
serve?
refused to let me speak to her.
How did you serve this? How did you serve this motion? How did you serve this motion on her?
What do you mean?
Did you mail it to her?
Yeah, I gave it to the front of the court's office, and they told me that they would try to find her. I think her last mailing address was in Kentucky. But for all I know is that she lives out in California, and that's been since I think sometime like last year or so.
Okay. Any comments on the mailing issue?
I don't know if we've received return mail, if we have a good address for her, but if it looks like we may have attempted to send her the notice.
Okay, it does look like there was a notice sent to an address in California.
Yeah, I wouldn't know the address. She's like I said, I've asked her mom, and her mom has really she refused to give me any kind of mailing address. They're
Mr. Kopka prohibited from having contact with her or knowing her address?
Thank you.
I have text messages of them just completely telling me that I had to pay child support in order to see him, and I have here and there, and they still refuse to let me see him, and she's got me blocked. I can't get a hold of her. I can't get a hold of her boyfriend.
His address is copied.
This has been going on for a few years now, and I would like to see my son.
Just relocate her.
All right, so it looks like your motion was not served on her. But it also looks like she's not keeping the court advised of an updated address. Are you paying support, sir, on this case? Mr. Kopka, do you pay child support on this case?
I do, but I haven't as much as I should have been. There's not. I haven't put a whole lot in, but I put a pretty good lump in my child support. Like I said, that's all they want me to do is pay child support, and they said they would let me see him, and I paid child support before, and they just refused to let me see him. All
right, we're going to adjourn this matter. We're going to adjourn this matter to a new date. I'll have front of the court set a date and time for that. An attempt service. If you can get any information on an address also, sir, that would be helpful.
I can try her mom again. I can let them know that you guys really need it.
Yes. It's so front of the court will reset this for probably somewhere in a 45 to 60 day range, just to give everyone a chance to try and figure out an address for her. If you get any information on that address, please contact the court.
All right, I will.
Thank you. Mr. Kopka is present. Mr. Dundon, if you could place your appearance on the record.
Yes, good morning, Your Honor. Mark Dundon appearing on behalf of Keelan English, who is appearing via Zoom.
Mr. Dundon, are we prepared today to enter a order in this matter?
Yes, we are, Your Honor. Both parties have signed. We negotiated. The court should have the order here, the final order regarding custody and parenting time. I could run down the terms briefly if the court would like, or I'm not. The critical one is that they're agreeing to equal parenting time on a week on, week off basis, with exchanges being made Friday at 3. Holiday parenting time they're going to use as they agree. If not, they'll use your guys' schedule, the standard schedule. They're both agreeing to refrain from drugs and alcohol when they have the child, and they're going to use app close, which I believe they're already doing, Your Honor. And sorry, I wasn't able to make it to my house, so I'm trying to read this from my screen, Judge, but I believe everything else.
All right. So, Mr. Kopka, is it true that you reviewed this final order regarding custody and parenting time and signed on February 28th of this year? Is that correct?
Yes.
You're asking the court to adopt these terms?
Yes.
And the two of you will have joint legal and joint physical custody with a week on, week off parenting time basis. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And you're going to try and work on holidays as you can, but if you can't agree, you'll follow the 46th Circuit holiday schedule. Is that correct?
Yes, we will.
And you also have an agreement regarding video calls during the other party's parenting time. Is that correct?
Yes.
You're also agreeing not to use alcohol or illegal drugs during parenting time. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And that you're going to communicate through a app. Have you guys picked which one you're going to use?
Yeah, we have been using an app already. We keep our contact in minimum.
Are you using app close or are you using family visit?
It's app close.
Okay. I believe this agreement is in the best interest of your child.
I do.
Thank you. Thank you. And Ms. English, is it true that you reviewed and signed this final order regarding custody and parenting time on February 28th?
Yes.
And you're asking the court to adopt this custody order, is that correct?
Yes.
And you're agreeing to joint legal and joint physical custody with week on, week off parenting time, is that correct?
Yes.
You're also agreeing that you will try and work on holidays as agreed, but if you can't agree, you'll follow the standard schedule. And there's also video calls with the child during the other parent's week, is that correct?
Yes, there is, but we haven't been doing that quite yet. The video calls we've been doing just the week on, week off, starting on the 1st.
Okay. And then you're also agreed to refrain from alcohol and or illegal drugs during parenting time, is that correct?
Yes.
And do you feel this agreement is in the best interest of the child?
Yes.
Thank you. Mr. Dundon, anything else you think we need to address?
Your Honor, the only thing is I would ask for immediate entry if they both agree, but I think they've already been doing, to their credit, I think they've both been already following it anyway, Judge.
All right, well, this is a stipulated order. I will indicate the parties should immediately follow those terms. We will also refer the matter for a child support calculation if that is necessary based on the last calculation.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Thank you for appearing, everyone. That does conclude the matter.
Thank you, Your Honor.
On that matter.
Thank you.
Yes.
All right, you're here today for a status conference on this matter. Mr. Sir, you're the plaintiff, so I'll ask you first. Do the parties have any agreements at this time regarding custody and parenting time and support?
You talking to me or Lizzie?
Huh?
Ms. LaSur, do you have any agreements at this time regarding custody, parenting time, and support?
Yeah, we agreed that we were just gonna, during the daytime while the kids are at school, or after they get out of school, she would have them because she is now going to night shift for her job. She's now currently working. So she's going to be starting night shift here soon. So she would have them during the day and we would have them at nighttime. Other than that, there's really no agreements and guests in place. We both just agree that we're gonna have him whenever we can. I know I'll have him at nighttime when she's at work, or if she's off that night, she'd probably keep him for the day and night. And then my days off, I'll probably keep him so I can spend as much time with him as possible also. And financially, like child support wise, both of us agreed, like no matter what, whether they're at my house or her house, if the kids need stuff, kids come first, kids get what they need. Like if she needs help, if I need help, we can both help each other. Everything like that.
All right, so you're indicating that you're asking the court to grant you joint legal and joint physical custody, is that correct?
Yes.
All right. Ms. LeSueur, are you in agreement with that?
Yes.
Okay. And his general outline that the kids will be with you during the day and with him at night, is that correct?
Yes. I'm still at the trailer with him, but I actually just got approved for a 3-bedroom, 2-bath apartment. I signed the paperwork tomorrow, but I can't move into my place until June though. But I do have a place for me and my kids.
Okay. The parties want it doesn't sound like you have specific terms as to where the kids are going to be all the time. So you can either set up an order that has specific terms, or you can just simply say it's as the parties agree. Then if
I would just say as parties agree.
Okay.
Sorry.
Ms. LeSueur, do you have any issue with that?
No, I don't.
All right. Then I will take some brief testimony from each of you. All right, so are you asking this court to enter an order that would grant the two of you joint legal and joint physical custody of the minor children?
Yes, I do.
Are you asking that parenting time be set as the parties agree?
Yes, I do.
I assume that as to holidays, that the two of you are going to do holidays as you agree, or are you going to follow a set schedule for holidays?
I'm pretty sure we're going to be doing most of them together still.
Okay, so as agreed. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And do you think this agreement is in the best interest of the children?
Most definitely.
And ma'am, are you also asking this court to enter an order that gives the parties joint legal and joint physical custody of the children?
Yes.
And you are in agreement that parenting time would be as the parties agree?
Yes.
And that holiday parenting time would be as the parties agree?
Yes.
And do you think this is in the best interest of the children?
Yes.
Okay. All right, so the court will prepare an order reflecting that. There will also need to be a child support recommendation prepared. You'll have the ability to object to that recommendation if you have any issues with it. In front of the court, do you need any information from the parties?
Just clarify if the plaintiff has started a new job or if it's still the same wage that she, as indicated on the form she provided.
All right. Ma'am, has your employer changed at all recently?
Yes, I actually just started at the Aspen Ridge retirement home in Gaylord a month ago, and I actually just went to the front of the court and gave them both of my pay stubs to put into the case actually.
Okay. We're all set. All right. All right, thank you. Then it sounds like we are all set. Any questions from either one of you?
No.
Nope.
All right, thank you for appearing. You may sign off.
Thank you.
Yes.
Okay, Ms. Rickard present.
Yes.
All right, thank you. Motion to change custody and domicile, is that correct?
Yes.
All right, is there an agreement on those issues?
Yes.
Okay. All right, Ms. Rickard, could you state to the court what the agreement is?
We want to do joint legal and physical 50-50. We no longer want to collect child support. And we're going to do schools down there with her dad, school season, and summers and off seasons with me, her mom.
So when you say down there, you mean in Ohio, is that correct?
Yes, Lima, Ohio with her dad.
Okay. All right. So Ms. Rickard, is it correct that you are asking that the parties share joint legal and joint physical custody of the minor child?
Yes.
And is your agreement that the child would live with dad during the school year in Ohio and would be with you in the summer? Is that correct?
Yes.
Is there other parenting time terms, or just that you want to put on the record, or do you just agree to some other parenting time during the school year?
We would like to leave the parenting time as we both just agree, depending on what works for her. She will be 13 this year, and she's getting a lot older, and I think we both feel that.
We can certainly indicate that parenting time would be as the parties agree, that holidays would be as the parties agree.
Yes, that would probably be the best route. Excuse me.
And do you think this agreement is in the best interest of your daughter?
Yes, I do.
All right, there's no motion to opt out of front of the court yet, is that correct?
No, but I can fill that out if that'd probably be the next step, correct?
Correct. And then the last support order looks like was calculated based on no overnights.
Yes, but we should have had that fixed because technically she was going down there the last few years during the summer and school off season, and she was up here with me.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna ask Mr. Olter a few questions, sir. All right, sir, are you also asking this to enter an order that gives the parties joint legal and joint physical custody?
Yes.
And parenting time would be as the parties agree, but the general agreement obviously is that the child would reside with you in Ohio during the school year. Is that correct?
That is correct.
You would also share holiday time as agreed. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. So I think as to the issue of support, I think at this point, what we would do is prepare a new order based on equal time. The parties would then have the right to object to that order, and then at that point, we can address whether or not there's appropriate reasons to deviate to 0 if that's the case. So I will have the front of the court prepare a new child support recommendation, again, based on equal overnights, unless the parties think the overnights should be different.
How could we make it so that it was just 50-50? If that's
well, I don't know everyone's income and how all that's going to work out. So
okay.
Any thoughts on the overnights?
We would do 182.5.
Okay. Let's do it at 182.5 and do a recommendation, and then we can go from there. As indicated to the parties, you both have the right to object to that. So if it does come out that someone's owing someone and you want to object to that, we can discuss that at an objection hearing and see if there's reasons to deviate or any changes should be made in the calculation. That might get you to where you are kind of looking to get to.
Okay.
Ms. Rickard, anything else that you think needs to be addressed today?
You be quiet while I put it in. No, I don't think so.
Okay. Mr. Olter, anything that you think needs to be addressed?
No, sir.
All right, for the court, anything additional? No, Your Honor. All right. Thank you for appearing. We will prepare that paperwork and send that to you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. Miranda Bailey Quick on behalf of Heather Rossy.
Thank you. Mr. Rossy, can you unmute? Let me know if you can hear me okay. Yeah, I just want to make sure you can hear me okay and that you were present. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you.
All right, Ms. Bailey Quick, you have some motions before the court. Is that correct?
That is correct. The parties have signed an advice of rights and a motion to opt out of friend of the court. And we are prepared to enter testimony today to support that motion.
Thank you. I do see the advice of rights. All right, Ms. Rossy, is it accurate that you have reviewed an advice of rights regarding friend of the court services and signed that document, looks like on January 26th of 2024?
Yes.
And do you have any questions regarding that document that you reviewed?
No, sir.
And is it correct that you are not receiving any public assistance?
Yes.
And did you sign this document voluntarily?
Yes.
And do you think this is in the best interest of the child?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. And sir, did you also review and sign the advice of rights regarding front of the court services on January 26, 2024?
Yes, Your Honor.
And do you have any questions regarding that document?
No.
And is it accurate that you do not receive any state assistance?
No.
And did you sign this document voluntarily?
Yes.
And do you think this is in the best interest of the child?
Absolutely. That's a yes.
Thank you. All right. Well, based on the signed advice of rights in the file, as well as the party's testimony, I would grant the motion to opt out of front of the court services.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Ms. Bailey, quick, do you have any other matters before the court today?
I do not.
Front of the court, was there anything else to address?
Just whether or not we need to do informational recommendation.
Okay. We should, yes, we should prepare an informational recommendation. All right. Anything else, Ms. Bailey, quick?
No, once the opt-out recommendation is submitted, I was going to prepare a temporary order that I discussed with the parties. So.
All right. Well, thank you everyone for appearing. That does conclude this matter, and you may sign off.
Thank you.
Mr. Dunn, if you can place your appearance on the record.
Yes. Sorry, Judge, I gotta get off my phone.
Yeah.
I apologize.
We're seeing two of you.
Yes, it's one too many, but yeah, Mark Dundon appearing on behalf of Jeremy Amonte, Your Honor.
Thank you. And Ms. Amonte, can you hear me okay, ma'am? All right, I do need you to unmute just to confirm.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. And Mr. Dundon, we're here today on a motion to opt out of front of the court services. Is that correct?
That's correct, Your Honor. As the court's aware, the last time there was an issue with public assistance for Mr. Amonte, that has been taken care of. So
okay.
We just refiled the same motion. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. And Mr. Amonte, is it true that you have reviewed and signed an advice of rights regarding front of the court services? It looks like on March 7th, 2024.
Yes, sir.
And do you have any questions regarding that document?
No, sir.
Did you voluntarily sign that document?
Yes, sir.
And do you receive any public assistance?
No, sir.
And do you believe this is in the best interest of your children?
Yes, I do.
Thank you. And Ms. Amonte, is it accurate that you reviewed and signed an advice of rights regarding front of the court services on March 7th, 2024?
That is correct.
Do you have any questions regarding that document?
No, I do not.
And is it accurate that you do not receive any public assistance?
That is correct.
And did you sign that document voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
And do you believe this is in the best interest of the children?
Yes, I do.
Okay, well, given the filed advice of rights as well as the testimony of the parties, I would grant the motion. Mr. Dunnan, anything additional we need to do on this matter?
No, thank you, Your Honor.
Front of the court, anything on this case?
No, Your Honor.
All right. All right. Thank you, everyone, for appearing. That does conclude the matter. You may sign off.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.